the ritual was the right thing to do.
To not even consult with us.
Are you the one doubting her now?
Of course not. But this was our best defense.
How can I help? Think of it as tribute. The kind a king might pay to a more powerful neighbor to avoid invasion. As long as I pay, there will be peace. But should I ever stop, along comes a war. I can assure you, the battlefield would extend well beyond the borders of my body alone. We all have those from time to time. I once wished a most impure demise on a colleague of mine who bought the last remaining copy of Etheril's Enchiridion of Enchanting Easements. It's first edition, too. As regards to your own morbid little fantasies, I'm sure they're nothing to worry about. So long as they remain fantasies.
I've known people who are hungry for power, but Gale takes it a bit too literally for my liking. I wonder how he does it. Why he does it. I'm sure all will be revealed in time, but I don't like it. A waste of perfectly good treasure. What? Who? What happened? A girl? What are those vagabonds? Why would they... Khazad. Of course he'd send a girl to hunt me down. Well, of course he did. I'm hunting a poor innocent for money isn't exactly going to win sympathy, is it? No, I'm here to save you from a monstrous vampire. That's much more convincing. It's nothing. They're not special. They're just easy to buy and morally vacuous. Perfect lackeys. But why send anyone after me? Hardly a threat out here. Maybe he wants to make an example of me, to show what happens to runaways. Or maybe he thinks death is too good for me. We just have to be vigilant, keep our wits about us, and kill any monster hunters on sight. Oh, what's to tell? I'm a magistrate back in the city. It's all rather tedious. still in control. Just.
Gale slurped that thing up like a horse with a carrot. I hope he got what he needed from it. He brings to mind a story. The Devil with the Silver Tongue. An old fairy tale my father read to me. The kind with a hero, a villain, and a moral. A farmer made a deal with the devil, so the story goes. In exchange for the farmer's dearest fruit, the devil granted him a bottomless coin purse. The farmer's dearest fruit, naturally, was no apple nor peach, but his beloved daughter. We can learn a lot from fairy tales, don't you think? Refuse him, no matter how tempting the offer, no matter how delicious the feast he lays out for you. The cost will be too great. That's because you still have hope. But when he becomes your last hope, remember this. He'll require of you only what you're least ready to part with, and then require more still. You might think you'd give up anything for a cure, but the devil won't take just anything. He'll take everything. Karlach's fires raged in Baldur's Gate before she escaped to Avernus, as my source told it, and she was planning to return. One of the archdevils Ariel's own, chaos incarnate, a devil with pure fire for a heart. I made my way to Avernus to stop her. She fled from my reach, even climbed aboard the Mind Flayer ship as it screeched through the hells. I followed in close pursuit. I can't bear to imagine the lives Karlach might be taking, the damage she might be doing. A powerful friend with a keen interest in privacy. I'm sworn to say no more. All right. Anything more we should discuss? My father once said, one does not pursue a champion's life. One merely answers its call. So it was for me. I was hunting near the Cloakwood when I heard it. A child crying out from a lone farmstead. I found him in the fields, flanked by goblins. His mother's corpse blared into the soil next to him. I don't remember much of the battle, but I remember drying the boy's tears after. Proud? No. Angry. Angry at the monsters preying on innocents. Angry at the so-called good gods for tolerating the cruelty of the evil. Angry at myself that it took so long for me to see the coast suffering. The frontiers demanded a blade, and so I heeded. Baldur's Gate, born and raised, the only son of a single father. He wanted one life for me. I chose another. We haven't spoken since I left the city. A classic drama, a staunch father and his rebellious son. Better heard from the bard's lips than mine. A most vicious one, in fact. It's made from pure bloodstone, carved from the Galena Mountains just north of the Moonsea. A reminder that sometimes blood must be shed and sacrifices must be made. But that story is reserved for lifetime friends and calmer days. By all means. Seems unusual to me. Then again, we're talking about tadpoles inserted into our brains by rubber-skinned tentacle monsters. There's nothing usual about it. All the more reason to stick close. I think you'll agree. Anger. I understand. We've been preyed on by illithids, suffered insertion of a mind-bending worm. Bloodthirst is another matter. But perhaps not too big of one, if it's a devil or demon's flesh you're wanting to tear.
matters to discuss. We meet again, as predicted. I shall be here in thy camp for whenever thou hast need of my services. There are many answers to that question. None are important. Correct. No. Beyond mortal realms, there doth exist an amalgamation of spirits akin to thine own, ensnared by the treacherous cult of the Absolute, felled in its name. They bear great discontentment with their destiny. For a mere pittance of coin, I might summon the worthiest among them to lend aid to thy undertaking. Most willingly, forsooth. Their passions doth run deep for what hath been wrought upon them. Suspicion always haunts the guilty mind. My services are all that I can proffer thee. What thou wilt do with them is for thee to undertake. Should thou or any of thy compatriots perish, I will cleave soul to body once more. Because it is my calling. There is little else to explain. A matter of coin.
The Grove sported some rather interesting murals, I must say. They just reminded me of something half forgotten. It seemed to depict Lady Shah's warriors in combat. I hadn't known they were active in these parts. You know me. I'm not usually one to elaborate if I can avoid it. They looked like dark justiciars, an elite force among Lady Shah's ranks. Only the very finest proved themselves worthy of the title. What right-minded servant of Lady Shah wouldn't? But it's a distant dream. The Dark Justiciars have been silent for years. Curious to see them depicted in such a place. Perhaps there's more to it. But there's nothing to be done about it just now. The wound on my hand. It never quite heals. And sometimes it causes terrible pain to rip through me. It's my burden, though, from Lady Shah. I can feel her influence somehow. I cannot say. Not with what I can recall. But even then, it would not be for me to question her will. Lady Shah has her reasons. It's difficult to say. Sometimes I wonder if it's supposed to be guiding me, punishing me, testing me. But perhaps it's none of those. Perhaps it's completely random. I'd like to hope there's more to it than that. Some meaning that Lady Shah will reveal to me when the time is right. Until then, all I can do is endure. It's less difficult than you might imagine when you can't remember life without it. Pain is sacred to followers of Lady Shah. Pain will give way to loss and then to the peace of her eternal darkness. You can tolerate a great deal of suffering so long as it has meaning. I'll try my best. But secrecy is ingrained in me. Lady Shah considers it greater protection than any shield or armor. You already know my biggest secrets. What more can you ask? She took me in when no one else would. Without her, I wouldn't be alive. She's my mother. She nurtures me, cares for me, loves me. Don't believe the lies the Saloonites tell. What, besides my life's calling and the greatest problem I've ever faced? Well, I like night orchids and can't swim. Is that the sort of thing you meant? It's nothing to laugh at. Save your questions if that's how you're going to react. No, I can't. I mean, I literally can't. There's certain things I can't remember right now. Shah's secrets must be preserved above all else. All who worship her know this. I have had certain memories suppressed, voluntarily, so that I can serve Shah without compromising her. If I manage to return to Baldur's Gate and fulfill Shah's mission, then my memories will be restored. Of course. It is an act of faith, not to be undertaken lightly. Shah will reward me when I succeed. Fine. What's on your mind? I don't think I've ever had a confidant quite like you. And if I have, I can't remember them.
Gale is positively voracious. Well, let him suck up all the magic he needs, as long as he doesn't snack on a Githyanki silver sword. Many a good warrior savors the scent of blood in the air. There's no shame in a capricious murder now and again. Too many, though, and you waste energy and dull your weapon. My suggestion, attack with purpose and savor your kills. And if the urge proves too much, well, I'm sure we can find you a goblin or two to carve up. Entirely. I was as devoted to my studies as I was to my training. Each creche contains a Zaithisk purification device. So I learned from the writings in the Kalir Library. The library was a gift from Vlaakith herself, that we may gain total understanding. Countless scholars roam the astral sea and beyond, observing the ways of our lessers, exploring planes so distant order turns to chaos and cold fires rage. The planes are ever quaking, and their peoples ever shifting. The Githyanki possess an eternity of knowledge. Yet we still collect more. Infinities upon infinities.
I'm so glad I found... Wait, it's me! It's Elfira! From the Grove! I'm sorry for barging in like this, but I had to come find you. You've, well, inspired me. I want to stand on my own 2 feet, to prove that I can be half the bard Lihala was. I want to join you, to fight by your side. I want to help people, as you've helped me. I've been running since El Terrell. And when we finally arrived at the Grove, we found danger there too. Unless I hide away from the world, I can't avoid it. So I'd rather face it head on, with you. Really? Just like that? Oh, thank you. Thank you so much.
Wonderful. The more the merrier.
I won't let you down. I promise.
You open your eyes with a lurch, and you are not in your bed. You stand above a body which is in a state of gore nearly beyond recognition. The body of that brave girl who earnestly swore to devote her life to your cause. Her blood covers you, and its warmth feels like the embrace of an old friend. You recall nothing of how you ended up here, but your head pounds and aches.
I was blind not to see it. Too trusting. A fool.
Not a fool. A friend. Would that I'd realized it.
I was trying to help.
You nearly died. Do you hear me? What would your mother and I have done?
Hey, you here to trade or? Yeah, I know. I was standing right here telling her to rob you. I am sorry. Sorry we're still talking about this. Look, you caught her. Good for you. You aren't a chump like everyone else around here. Now, do me a favor. Make room for the chumps.
It's our job to get us out of here safely. Not...
Think you could stand back a ways, pal? I'm fishing for chumps here.
We have to look after ourselves. That's what Mole says.
That girl. I don't care what Mole says. Stupid
Parry, swing, lunge.
One more time.
Shame the goblins didn't kill me, too.
Say that?
I'm just sad. And bored.
Looking for steel? I have, well, something close. Durge.
Shame the goblins didn't kill me, too.
We're exploding.
I'll talk to the guards at Baldur's Gate.
I'm just sad.
I thought you were a caravan escort for 3 days, and you quit in the middle of your shift.
You sound like your father.
Well, it was his caravan.
Don't be grumpy, Roland. We'll get to the city soon. I am not grumpy. Scowl on your face would frighten a troll.
What a brilliant.
You're an idiot.
Where did I put that as a bucket?
Feels like we're all waiting to die.
Hells take me. What I wouldn't do for better tools.
No helping it. We're exposed now.
Shouldn't be too long now.
I wonder when the goblins will come. I could use the target practice.
There's
How
no
long
time
until
to
Roland
waste.
shows off his thunder wave?
Depends. How many people are dumb enough to ask?
True.
It must be time by now. Right. I've got food, water, my dagger.
What to do?
No helping it.
This is ridiculous.
Exposed now.
Damn druids. Who uses wooden tools? Looking for steel? I have, well, something close. I miss my
Don't be
forge.
grumpy, Roland. We'll get to the city soon. I am not grumpy. Scowl on your face would frighten a troll. You're an idiot. No helping it. We're exposed now.
I'm told the druids have stopped their damn chanting. What happened? Truly, Ilmater's ashes. I never thought she would actually see reason. Thank you. We still have the goblins to contend with, but you've given us time to prepare. I need to ensure my people make the most of it. But here, left over from my soldiering days, it's sparse thanks for what you've done for us. And I'm afraid I have more yet to ask. You've bought us some time here, but the goblins are still massing out there. We'd need an army of our own to escort us safely to Baldur's Gate. And while I don't doubt your abilities, you're no army. There may be a way, though. Goblins are ill-disciplined. It's unlike them to organize so cleverly. Somebody must be leading them, bringing discipline to their ranks. Take out that leadership, and they'll scatter. It's no small thing to ask, but I've seen you fight. You're equal to the task. Everyone in this camp depends on it. Thank you. We'll be ready to leave as soon as you give word.
Watch, you're the Flaming Fist.
Pardon?
When we get to Baldur's Gate, where are we enlisting?
I'm done soldiering, Tilly. I'd like a clean start, but go with the Watch. You're too honest to be a mercenary.
A long way to go still.
Still alive, so that's progress.
Leave me. Please.
Time.
What happened to this place now?
You can walk through again.
actions have not gone unnoticed. If they persist, it seems they will not go unpunished.
Just out of view.
Your actions have not gone unnoticed.
Breathe quiet. Move with care.
Your aggression has won you no friends.
Better be cautious.
Dance upon the stars tonight. Smile and pain will fade away. Words of mine will turn to ash when you cool the last light down. Dance upon the stars tonight. Smile and pain will fade away. Words of mine will turn to ash when you cool the last light down. Moon, sun, will remind me of your grace. Faith, care, all the love I can't repay. Moon reminds me of your grace, all the love I can't repay. Rest and know that I will pray. Farewell, my dear old friend. Moon, sun, all remind me of your grace. Faith, care, all the love I can't repay. Dance upon the stars tonight. Smile and pain will fade away. Words of mine will
No rest for the wicked, I see.
Moon, sun, will remind me of your grace. Faith, care, all the
Salutations.
Blackets will be done.
Dance upon the stars tonight. Smile and pain will fade away.
Indolence breeds madness.
Mine will turn to ash when you pull the last light down. Moon, sun, will remind me.
Quite ready for you.
Indolence breeds madness.
Your actions are pushing tempers to the limit.
Dance upon the stars tonight. Smile and pain will fade away. Words of mine.
Action, not reaction.
When you pull the last light down. Moon, sun, will remind me of your grace.
The air is ripe with magic.
All the love I can't repay. Moon reminds me of your grace. All the love I can't repay. Rest and know that I will pray. Farewell, my dear old friend. Moon, sun, will remind me of your grace.
Still breathing, despite everything. Never wanted the easy path.
What's next? Let's try this way.
Eager for battle.
No one's stopped me yet.
Hark! Hark! A camp, and Hogma willing. Some friendly faces. Well met. Goblins roughed me up and stole my hose when they heard me singing hatchling love. You wouldn't have half a bedroll for a lost minstrel, would you? I can pay for my board with music, if you care for it. I know. It's not the first time I've been robbed. I am only glad I didn't get hurt. Quill Grootslang. Soon to be published in the songbook Affairs in Ancient Abir, Songs of Draconic Love. If I make it to Baldur's Gate with my manuscript, that is. I'll just stay one night. Promise. Then I'll be gone. I know I'm ice blood, but I get cold so fast. I need to be by the fire.
I've known people who are hungry for... I wonder... I'm sure all will be revealed in time, but I don't... What? Who? What happened? A girl? Cazador. Well, of course. No. I'm here to save you from a monstrous... Ah, yes. He captured me a long time ago. Insisted I call him... I shouldn't be surprised Cazador's hunting me. He always was quite... It's... they're not... But why send anyone after me? Maybe he wants to make an example of me. Or maybe he thinks death is too good for me. We just have to be vigilant. Keep our wits about us. And... Oh, what's to tell? I'm a magistrate back in the city. It's all rather tedious.
Gale is positively voracious. Entirely. Each creche, the library, was the gift from Vlaakith herself. Countless the plains, yet we still collect more. Many a good, too many, my suggestion. Attack with purpose and
The goblins still infest the roads. As long as their leaders live, Zevlor's people are trapped. He brings... And, oh, a farmer made it the farmer's dear. We can learn a lot from fairy tales. Refuse him, no matter how tempting the offer. That's because he'll require and then require. You might think, but the devil won't take just anything. Karlach's fight, one of the art. She fled from. I can't bear to imagine the lives Karlach might be taking. A powerful friend with a keen interest. All right. What else is on your mind? My father. So it was for me. I found him in the. I don't remember much of the battle. But I remember drying the boys proud. Angry at my. The frontiers demanded a blade. Baldur's Gate. He wanted a classic drama. A staunch father and his rebel. It's made from. But that story, by all means. Seems Then again, we're all the more reason to stick close. Anger. I understand. Bloodthirst is another matter. But perhaps not too big of one.
What's on your mind? Think of it as long as I can assure you, the battlefield would extend well beyond. We all have those. I once wished a most impure demise on a colleague of mine who bought the last remaining copy of Etheril's Enchiridion of Enchanting Easements. It's a first edition, too. As regards to your own morbid little fantasies, I'm sure they're nothing to worry about. So long as they remain fantasies.
We meet. I shall be here in thy camp. For when there are many answers to that. Correct. No. For a mere pittance of most willingly. Suspicion always. Should thou or any of thy compatriots, because it is my calling. There is little else to explain. Indeed.
The Grove sported some rather interesting murals, I must say. They just reminded me of something. You know me. They looked like dark justiciars. What right-minded... Curious to see them depicted in the wound on my hand. It never... I cannot say. Not with what I can... It's difficult to say. I'd like to hope there's more to it than that. It's less difficult. Pain is sacred to followers of... I'll try my best. But secrecy is ingrained in me. Lady Shah considers it greater protection than any shield or armor. You already know my biggest secrets. She took me in when no one else would. She's my mother. Don't believe the lies the Selûnites tell. What? Well, I like night orchids and... It's a deal. No, I can't. I mean, I literally can't. There's certain things I can't remember right now. Shah's secrets must be preserved above all else. All who worship her know this. I have had certain memories suppressed. If I manage to return to Baldur's Gate and Of course. It is an act of faith, not to be undertaken... Fine. What's on your mind? I don't think I've ever had a confidant quite like you. And if I have, I can't remember. I'm sure you do. But please try to understand that it's not something I can just talk about freely. Very well. Perhaps there's potential in you. Let's see how you handle this. I am indeed a disciple of Shah. Mistress of the Night. I assume you've heard of her. My Lady Shah is the Night Singer, the patron of darkness and loss. Most fear the dark, like children, because in darkness they see their fears reflected. But Shah teaches us to step beyond fear, beyond loss. In darkness, we do not hide. We act. Pain, hope, the promise of better days. All of these are heavy cloaks that bend our backs and burden our hearts. We shed those cloaks. Before Shah, we stand gloriously naked, beyond the vanities of mortals. We tear down the lies the world is drunk on, the institutions they trust, the so-called gods they worship, the lives they cling to. We destroy false idols, topple corrupt organizations, fight heretics wherever they're found. There's often suffering, death even. Many people break before they embrace Shah's truths. Curious. Most are afraid of my lady. I think I did well by joining you. Most agreeable company.
You open your eyes with a lurch, and you are not in your bed. You stand above a body which is in a state of gore nearly beyond recognition. The body of that scared girl who asked for nothing more than a night of shelter. Her blood covers you, and its warmth feels like the embrace of an old friend. You recall nothing of how you ended up here, but your head pounds and aches. Her blood covers you, and its warmth feels like the embrace of an old friend. You recall nothing of how you ended up, but your head pounds. There are dozens and dozens of wounds on the corpse. The killer did not stop savaging it, even when she was long gone. And your dominant arm aches. It aches from stabbing over and over. No matter how it appears, the body is there, and her blood is on your hands. The question flows through your mind. Who are you, really, that you could be guilty of such bitter business? Something wicked must have woken you. The contemptible pervert within must have lavished slash after slash upon the girl. But where, oh, where could that monster have come from? If only you knew yourself better. You don't have much time for reflection now. You need to act. You may only have a few moments before the others awaken and begin to cast blame for the hot sin before you. Your misdeed is bright and clear as the dawning day.
Another waif dead before her time. I wonder how it happened.
Here's hoping the explanation is less sloppy than the kill.
Now, I can't help but notice that one of us is positively drenched in blood. So?
She was brutalized. The killer knifed her many times after she was dead. Was it you? The blood speaks for itself. Why? The parasite must be affecting you deeply.
The worm in your head has never slept more peacefully. You know in your heart it was something deeper, hungrier.
Even if it was the worm, this was peculiar indeed. I'll be watching.
An uneasy feeling lingers in the air. As the Inquisition departs, you are left alone with a familiar headache. Much is uncertain, but you know one thing for sure. The darkness will strike again, unless you find a light.
Thy wheel of fate turns ever to the dark. Dost thou require a new ally? Or mayhaps a resurrection instead? The bard's death is a weight for thine own conscience to bear. She will be left to the peace of eternity, where the urge shall seek her no more.
Be wary of false promises. The missing druid, Halsin, was it? He may be talented, but only a Githyanki Zathis can cleanse an embedded tadpole.
I hope you're not here to ask about Cazador. And curious you'll remain. The past is dead. I'm not about to exhume it when there's a nice, bright future ahead of me. Assuming we don't turn into mind flayers, of course. That might put a bit of a damper on things. The point is, I'm looking forward. Focusing on what's important for our future. Exactly. So, was there anything else?
So, Gale just consumes magical items like I do wine. We truly are a group apart. Nevertheless, as quirks go, that's a new one for me. Fine. What's on your mind? I don't think I've ever had a confidant quite like you. And if I...
Speak. Chook, you believe you can survive without me? As you say, do not keep me waiting.
Go ahead. I'm listening. I question the wisdom of that decision, but so be it. I'll be here in the meantime, idling away the hours.
Gale slurped that thing up like a horse with a carrot. I hope he got what he needed from it. That's the spirit.
The pride of the gate.
Intestines throb, blood whispers.
There's something I want to talk to you about. Something important. I could have died in that pod, back on the Nautiloid. You could have died, spending precious moments trying to free me, but you did it anyway. I owe you my life. I'm trying to say that you've earned my trust in a way very few ever have. I want that to mean something. I want you to know more about me, at least from what I can remember. As long as I've prayed to Lady Shah, I've wished to serve her as a dark justiciar. There is scarcely a greater way to fully dedicate yourself to Lady Shah, save perhaps if you become the head of her church. To become a dark justiciar is to become the Night Singer's sword arm, her implement with which she will cast down the unbelievers and win the final battle to restore her perfect, endless darkness. It's all I ever wanted. I prayed it was my calling. But Mother forbid me from seeking to prove myself worthy of the rank. She said I was not ready. Not my mother, I should add. The Mother Superior, head of Lady Shah's enclave in Baldur's Gate. Sometimes I wonder if she would ever deem me ready. I owe her everything, and I only wish to serve, yet she can prove inscrutable. I don't know. Perhaps if I succeed in my mission and reach Baldur's Gate, hope has little place amongst Lady Shah's children. It's an illusion, a distraction. But for this, I hope my time will yet come. Dark Justiciars are hated by many, judged to be ruthless fanatics. Even the few who would accept a follower of Lady Shah would likely balk at a Justiciar in their midst. But there's a simpler answer to your question. I simply forgot about the desire I had until I saw some things that reminded me. Now, I can't get it out of my mind.
It's still rough, but my song is getting there.
Dance upon the stars tonight, smile and pain will fade away.
Easy, Morny.
I hardly need a bodyguard, Tilsies. This isn't a Vern.
No, sir. At least the monsters there looked like monsters.
Used to think the goblins would kill us the second we set foot outside. But after hearing what you did at the gate, well, I still think they'll kill us. But at least we can put up a fight. There's optimism and then there's stupid, hun. Plenty of us fell to monsters already. I don't see the rest of us lasting long out there. But if you're so sure we will, why not put a little gold on the line? I'm sure you're good for it. Just leave the gold on my corpse. After seeing you at the gate, I'm sure you'll last longer than us. Excellent. And since I ain't one to leave a debt unpaid, that means we're destined to meet in Baldur's Gate. Looking forward to it.
So many ways to die.
Just another crate.
Have you wondered what people will say when they find out the monster hunter is becoming a monster?
I've faced countless perils and conquered them all. This will be no different.
I've always had a soft spot for the confident ones. They always disappoint, though.
Sharp as ever.
Shouldn't have wished to live in more interesting times.
Sharp as ever.
just now.
Can't give up now.
I saw you training those children. You were so gentle. That's not how I was taught.
Cruel words strengthen neither heads nor hearts, Shadowheart.
I wouldn't quite say that. I learned a lesson, after all.
And came to resent your tutor, I bet. I taught them to fight, not to hate.
So, Will, what was the Blade of Frontier's toughest kill?
Ah, it was a great scrap. A hungry minotaur with a hankering for human flesh. An axe-bearing mountain of fur she was. Gave me a nasty scar.
I hope you don't mind if I don't ask to see it. So, Will with a Y. Why?
Why? That's right.
But why?
Why? A great uncle's name, my father said. But I just figured he couldn't spell.
The dog lowers his hackles, his head tilted inquisitively. Convinced that you're harmless, he turns his attention back to the corpse. Around his neck is a collar etched with a name, Scratch. With a deep, heartbroken whine, the dog bows his head. The dog whimpers nervously, as if to urge you on. The dog looks at his owner with sad eyes. He does not move. The dog sniffs your hand, his tail swung low in understanding. He knows how to find you.
In nocte consider.
The corpse regards you lifelessly.
Gomwick. Rana. Fleetfoot. Courier Company. Letters. Delivery to Baldur's Gate. Pack of gnolls, claws, teeth. In bank, standard issue.
The spell's power wanes. You can ask no more questions.
Where am I needed?
How many die today? How many die tomorrow?